Hello YouTube, Matt here, and in today's video on the channel we're going to be going over Belkasoft X in my Windows machine. So without further ado, let's get into this and roll that intro.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my Windows PC, and we're going to be talking about this Windows image today. But first, let me tell you a little bit about a sponsor that I have that has a little bit to do with this Windows in general, rather than Windows Forensics, but Windows. So let me talk to you about my sponsor called KeysFan.
Keysfan.com is a very amazing site, and it is amazing because it allows you to acquire OEM licensed software for a very heavy discount. And all this is very legit. And I will show you a couple of ways to make the site work even better for you. So one way to get the most out of the site is to use my discount code SA50 to get 50% off of a Windows purchase. And if you just so happen to want Microsoft Office, you can use my discount code of SA62 to, you guessed it, get 62% off of your purchase. So in this case, it brings my total down all the way to $133.08, which is very awesome. Now, I hope you guys can use this site effectively to get yourself some awesome deals on Windows and Office licenses, if that's what you want. Now, let's get back to the video.
So let's get into the video, everybody. After that, which I will click here, but okay. So this is what it'll look like when it ingests it to you and you go from... So first of all, before I do that, actually, so you start here with your dashboard, and when you can import a data source like this and import the image wherever you got it. So I got it from here, so I'd import it like that. And after doing a whole bunch of steps just defining... Well, instead of telling you, I'll just do it. So this is what you'll get when you use the image from the Belkasoft CTF that I'll link in the description. But once you do that, you can check on whatever data that you need. And I'll just do all of that for now. And for this, you'd want to do all carve all space for everything. And then get it whatever file signatures that you need and whatever else. You can analyze carved and embedded data, or just do it like that. And you can also do the hashing right here and just add whatever you need or change whatever you need there. And same for everything. Filter out all the media stuff. And do the encryption and cancel that. So I'll cancel that, and you get everything here once it takes whatever it needs to and filters everything out. And so when you go over here to the artifacts panel, you have the iPhone, you have the page file, and you have this volume, this huge volume here that is going to be your Windows volume. And once you expand that out, you have all of the volumes here that you saw earlier, or all of the volumes inside this volume. And here you can see that there's some other files, other data files, and a couple of documents too. And when it comes to these documents, they are nothing special. They are nothing special, but you can see that they do exist. And they have some type of encryption or something. But they are of a log type. So then we can see this in TFS volume here that we're going to be analyzing here with this has some audio in it. So we can see all of the audio. So yeah, whatever audio that we have here. And we can see that it gives us browser artifacts too. So this has Tor, this has Firefox, this has Safari, and this has Internet Explorer and Chrome on it. And we have chats from various chat apps right here. This also has installed applications, some installed applications that will both be from our Apple iPhone and from the actual computer itself. Or just from the Apple domains or whatever. And the one thing that I couldn't get it to display correctly here is the emails, and when it comes to the emails here, this will not show anything. And this won't show any information, but you'll see that it has information here in the hex view, and yeah. And so you'll be able to see here that there's some other files here that it didn't process out correctly, or it didn't get a chance to fully parse out. So like here, this is a database here that it didn't get to fully parse out, or for whatever reason it didn't fully capture all of the information in this database for some odd reason. And then there's some data files, some more databases, and other stuff. But for now, let's move on. So under system files, we have a bunch of files here that are from our registry and from other places. So this Amcache right here is the Amcache hive from our registry. And what the Amcache has here is activity information. So it lists the app, the value of the activity, the application ID, version number, and other stuff about the app here. So when it comes to the Amcache, what this is very helpful for us at doing is it's helpful for us to look at the running processes on the machine. And in doing so, we'll be able to find out which applications have been installed and which processes have been running on the device. So as you can see through this, as I scroll down, there's a whole bunch of executable files and a bunch of executables in general from this machine right here. And you could see Cortana as one of them, and there was a bunch of Python there and Firefox.exe, so all of these right here were brought in at some point and were run at some point, which we'll be able to see or cross-reference somewhere else because this has no dates right here. And in a similar way, Activities Cache also stores activity data of applications. So what we're going to find here is an activity ID, which looks to be like a UUID of an app, but not entirely. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I'll come back in post and amend that or add something about it. And we have platforms right here, which are the apps or whatnot that it can use, and the package names or are the package names that this might be. So for this MS Edge right here, it's open through the Microsoft Edge app, and it would show like that. And so we have some Explorer running, we have mmc.exe and the command prompt and other stuff, okay? And then going further along, we have a bunch of dates right here, so package export. We have package expiration dates, start times, and end times of the process. So you'd have to do some cross-referencing here and see which ones right here match dates that are on your list of dates. And so this BCD components and this default right here has information on it. It doesn't seem to be anything default. Into user.data. That into user.dat is going to be one of the registry keys that we're going to see on a Windows machine, or one of the registry hives, and this registry hive contains registry entries about data. So for instance, here we have program startup data, like the startup folders that this had. So use that for your own on playing the CTF on your own, or if you're doing the Windows course right now, that's on for another 2 to 3 weeks at the time of uploading this video. You're going to want to look at some of these and see if anything useful happens here. And then the next key artifact are file links. And what file links are, as you may be able to understand, is, let me go to another one. So a file link could be something like this that I have up here to QuickTime Player. And what this does for us is it's going to, if I open the file location, it'll be just a link, and it'll link us to this executable file right here. And when I run that link, it's going to run the QuickTime Player, and the QuickTime Player will be opened by the user. So essentially with these links, they're placed somewhere. They're placed somewhere on the system, and when they're opened, they open whatever it is that they need to open. So this Firefox link may open the Firefox executable. And it is in fact a Firefox executable, and it opens to the location of Program Files Mozilla Firefox, firefox.exe, just by inspection. And that is a true link to Firefox, and not anything that we would it's nothing that we would find to be suspicious. It is in fact the Firefox that we want. And again, there's a whole bunch of other links that we have here, and it totals up to 411 links that we have here. And we have links to system programs too. And a link to run, control panel we have. And this is the majority of everything that we have, so we have links to images, we have links to other things too. And then we have data for other services. And this is again a repeat of what we have up here with the program startup stuff. So I'm not going to do that. And then we have network service. We have disable autoplay from network, which I'm going to put in a little bit about at post about what that does. Possibly. So then we have a user here, which is called Fronger. And this machine has some notifications, but from this user, we'll be able to find that there he had 2 program startup stuff, or 2 programs in startup, as well as 51 startup folders. And this here is a UID for some application. And there's just other basic programs here in the startup. And we have Shellbags. So when it comes to Shellbags, what we have to know about Shellbags is, first of all, let me go here into my file explorer first of all, and maybe go to a place like here, for instance. So you'll see this view, and if you do that to it, or go make it icons or whatnot. Yeah, where was I? I was like that. And you want to come back to that state at a later date. So let me open it back up. So if you want to get it to the way it was the previous time that I opened up, which is like this, your computer would store that in a shell bag. And so there's a whole bunch of folders here that it wants to store. So in this new folder, or this VMware host folder, or this VMware host shared files folder, or shared folders folder, something was changed in the property of, whether it be making the thumbnail size like that, or changing the size of our icons, or of our list view. And so it would be stored in one of these things. And so now let's go to prefetch files. So when it comes to prefetch files, when we see a prefetch file, we see a file that is cached for a program that has already run, so that it can run again, but run faster. So for instance, we have a registry, the registry editor here, a calculator, a search app, and other things. And so some updaters, some power stuff, some Python. So you get the point of that. So these files have a certain reference folder, so a certain reference folder or folders. And you'll see here that some of these have $MFT. And what MFT is, if you don't know already, is the master file table. And that in our file system in TFS is what defines every single file and folder inside our system. So these are referred to in the MFT. So let me just keep expanding this one. That's a very long name. So yeah, a lot of these refer to the MFT or master file table as the referenced file. So the whole system is queuing up these things, and it wants to be able to run them as quickly as possible. You'll be able to see here that, yes, there's an origin path, access time, modified time local, and created time, and a file size. So that is the gist of that. And let's go for security. Nothing under the security hive, nothing under setup API. So when it comes to software, we will have a few items here, and these few items are detailed like this, and they have various file formats and extensions. And so you'll see these, and it has a value which is the executable and any parameters that that executable takes into it. Also has an identifier and the original path of the file. So you can use these at any point to identify which software has been running as well. And so you have here a bunch of stuff that we didn't get any evidence of, but that still may be useful to us if we actually had it. So there's some network data that could be here, some program startup data, some scheduled tasks, and some registered applications, just unless it happened. And so there is 2 users on this, on the system Fronger and system profile. And so our system here may have, when it comes to the system hive, our registry will show all of the devices that were connected to it. So for instance, we have a printer and a scanner from HP and also other stuff. And the services for those printers too. And there's 5 things related to Windows. And then let's do that. We have the system event log, which we can go through in more detail in a future video. But the system event log here will show all of the events that the system has had in it. So for instance, we have information events with event qualifier 0. And then 32768. And number 6000 is an information event. Which is a W search event. And so we have here, we can read in this description pane all of the descriptions of all of the events. Wait a minute. All the events that we have had. And it has all of the other information related to the events here that we could cross-reference with everything else, and we'll be able to check everything. And we have this user class.dat init.dat, which supposedly has 83 things, but I can't see anything here. And we're almost done with this. I think I want to go back to the jump lists, wherever that was. So there is some notifications that are probably not important to us right now. Shellbags. Common file dialog, shellbags. Well, there we go, jump lists. So I want to tell you guys that your Chromium, so certain applications have jump lists. So let me show you this. So when it comes to a jump list, you're gonna see a jump list is basically this contextual menu that I opened here. So this jump list that I would have created right now, and that would be recognized by the system, will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items to it. And so in essence, that's what a jump list is just simply a contextual menu opened when you do something like that, when you right click something, whether it be this one of these on the start bar right here, or any other shortcut. And I think that is it for my very simple exploration of a Windows 10 image on Belkasoft X. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you learned something new if you haven't seen Belkasoft X or haven't seen Windows files like this already. And I plan to add to the Windows series by doing videos on these jump lists and other stuff that I found in this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys stick around for more. So before then, have a great day, everyone, and like, subscribe, and share with your friends who may find this helpful. And without further ado, let me get on to the next Windows stuff, and Matt out.